I'm sitting here in the heat because California is having unseasonably long, hot days. I want to talk to you guys not just about the electrolytes, which is so important, but the fat. So, a lot of people are asking me, Steph, do I really need to eat 200 grams of fat? So, let's take a look at what that looks like. Here's a Kerrygold block of butter. It's 227 grams of fat. 27 grams of fat is about a tablespoon. So if we look at the tablespoons here, where are they? I know they're somewhere. Let's see. Oh, here they are. You can't really see them though. But there on the edge so right here on the corner, you'd see about a tablespoon. So basically the whole block of butter. 227 grams minus, no, it's 2 tablespoons because 30 grams is 2 tablespoons. That's it. So that's about that much. Yeah. Now that's what it would look like with everything for the day. Now that can include your avocado, which this is a large one, so this is probably about 40 grams of fat. But I'd prefer that you guys get it from animal fat because we're just simply not made out of avocado. Okay, so with that said, I really suggest for people to use animal fats. People tend to adapt more on an animal fat. I really like to go between 200 to 300 grams of fat, but do you need to eat at least 200 grams of fat? Yes, in the beginning. A lot of people will have their protein too high. Protein too high is going to do what? Spike your blood sugar. Because people don't understand. To chew, digest, you have to have enough caloric acid in your stomach to actually start the breakdown process, how fast you chew the protein. Because if you chew too fast, or if you have hypochlorhydria, you are definitely going to be converting a lot of that protein back into glucose, which will block your keto adaptation on keto, omnivore, or carnivore, high-fat carnivore. Can't do these diets on high protein. And if people say you can, they're probably not telling you when they're having a bad day. But since I've been working with people for so many friggin' years, you really see, like every day consultations, and you can draw the red thread through everyone and see who does well and who does not and why. Especially when you use a glucometer and connect that with your symptomology. Now, with that said, once you're fully adapted, do you always need to hit 200 grams of fat? No, but I wouldn't be hitting 150, 100. Go like, oh, I'm going to eat 2 days of 200 grams of fat, and then the next 2 weeks I'm going to be doing 150 or 100, because you'll tank, you'll gas out, you'll develop hypoglycemia, you'll start to feel tired, headaches, dare I say, thyroid, reproductive hormonal issues, sleep issues. Because at the end of the day, what people do to compensate going so many days on lower fat is to up their protein, which blocks your keto adaptation. How do I know this? Because I work with thousands of people instead of using myself as the example, which is what a lot of gurus do. Well, Lisa Smith does this and she's fabulous. Well, that's great for Lisa Smith, but let's take Lisa Smith times 3,000 more people. Now we got some data to go by. Food for thought. Yes, do you always have to be around 200 grams of fat? And it's so easy to hit. How do you get in the fat? Take a spoon, stick it in your mouth. Because the more you get picky, the more you start to have food issues, which then messes with your endocrine system because people are not eating enough fat on these diets. And what do I see? People start to develop issues with their kidneys because they don't know that they have a prior issue with their kidney, their GFR, their kidney filtration. They're chronically dehydrated. Their electrolytes are off on all low carb diets, because carbohydrates make you store water. Water makes you hold on to minerals, and when you drop out the carbs and sugars, boom, you gotta really be on those electrolytes. Which is why I'm an avivore, which is an avocado carnivore. I eat all carnivore except for this. I don't even count this fat as my daily 200 gram intake, because I always know that ketones are more easily and made more productively by using animal fats. Now, you don't have to have butter, because a lot of you can't tolerate it because you have histamine intolerance to butter or dairy. Then there's tallow, there's lard, there's leaf lard around the pork, pig organs. There's, ooh, what's that? There's suet around the beef organs. And so people have to go and find out which one they can consume. Now, there was one guy, he was trying to render his suet and he wasn't feeling well, but once he ate it in its whole form raw, which some people do grass fed, then his gallbladder could tolerate it, especially if it was mixed in with a little protein. But that's a whole nother subject on the gallbladder. Yes, you can do keto or carnivore, high fat. If you don't have a gallbladder, if you have sludge, you have to just do a certain type of cocktail protocol, which I've done videos on, which I'll do more on how to do high fat successfully with sludge. Or even if you don't know if you're having a sludge issue, you have to be looking at the symptoms, which is nausea, bloated, right side pain, or just like, oh my God, I can't eat any more of this fat. All right, guys, now I got to go see my boy Thunder. Do you need to eat 200 grams of fat in the beginning? Yes. Can you total that with the meat, fat on the plate? Yes. Even this stupid thing. Well, not stupid, because it's got potassium. Yes. But going lower than that can be a day or two. People try to go lower in fat to lose weight. You need to check your hormones because you don't want to lose your hormones when you're eating less protein and then less fat, and you go down in the scale and then your hair starts falling out, and then men, you get flabby, and women become estrogen dominant, and there goes that cycle I see with client after client trying to intermittent fast and 1 meal a day to drop that weight and damaging their endocrine system because somebody said, oh, it's fabulous, you get autophagy, and then they don't talk about all of the other pre-existing things or people's lifestyles or stresses or blood sugar dysregulation, hypoglycemia that will be largely affected by going those long windows without eating. I don't know why people keep pushing that narrative. In a year from now, it'll be another stupid trend. But with that said, even keto has gone somewhat stupid with the trendiness of it because people do it wrong. They forget about ketosis. They just start thinking about weight loss and not total health. So this is what 200 grams looks like. But that's everything. If you're having a ribeye, if you're having some ground beef, if you're adding, and you must add fat. And if you want to get the fat in, you can do a broth. Put it in, this much broth and sip on that. 200 grams of fat, yes, you do. Then over time, you can oscillate and drop it a little lower and even go much higher depending on your activity level, because if you're not doing a lot and you're fully adapted and the need for that much fat is there to then go ahead and start the process of ketogenesis, you must do that in the beginning. Even if you keep digressing and making mistakes and trying to do keto again, you're starting over again. Just the way it is. So you could be old school but then new school because you fell off and now you're trying it again. With that said, I hope everyone's doing fabulous on this very hot day. At least in California, it's like we're going through this weird fires, heat, 108 degrees. I have no air on right now because it's too loud to do a video. So I'm out. Off to my horse where I'm going to get really hot. But that's okay. Oh, if you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. I am going to open up my calendar with new consultation dates. And so go and email me to be on the short list. And I have a course, which is only $15 a month, that teaches you all those diets. Low carb, keto, omnivore, carnivore, ovivore, all of it. To stephanieperson.com. And you catch me free right here or on Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, or my Facebook fan page, which is Stephanie the Business Person. And I'm out, guys. Yay. Thunder time. Yeah.